Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Dan DeDona here with the fall cold edition of the localnews1.org weekly report for Hagerstown, Chambersburg, Smithsburg, Fairfield, Waynesboro, and all the communities that make up our local area. I'm going to start off today with 5 things to do this weekend, as we usually do. This is the 24th of October edition. Greencastle's Fall Festival for 2025 will be taking place at the American Legion Picnic Grounds, 4775 Williamson Road. This is a 3-day extravaganza running from today, Friday, through Sunday, October 24th, 26th. It's organized by local enthusiasts to kindle community spirit, and it will include 15 food trucks, 150 retail vendors, a frothy beer garden, to be distinguished from the non-frothy variety, a gleaming car show, carnival rides, courtesy of Snyder's Attractions, helicopter jaunts, which is pretty cool, face painting, pony rides, and a whole lot more. So take advantage of that. It'll be starting today and running through Sunday. Next up, the Franklin County Historical Society, Catoctony, is resurrecting its spine-tingling haunted jail. It'll be featuring the return of malevolent clowns for Halloween 2025. That'll be today, October 24th, and Saturday, October 25th, at its usual site, which is 175 East King Street in Chambersburg. The doors will creak open at 7 p.m. each night, and if you arrive by 9:15, you can snag a spot. With $10 admission per person, this goes to fund the Society's preservation efforts. Third up on the list, Chambersburg's newest stage, where is it here? The freshly unveiled Spring Street Amphitheater at 59 Lincoln Way West is going to be the site of the musical Wicked. That'll be also tonight on October 24th. There will be a novella and reels, a collaborative venture of the Franklin County Library System and Mission Solved Incorporated, along with Ghostwriter LLC, will be providing the movie Wicked, and it'll be starting at 6. Doors are open at 6:30. There'll be a costume contest offering prizes for all ages, followed by the film's kickoff at 6:45 p.m. There will also be complimentary books and snacks for attendees, and it's all, again, to foster community spirit this Halloween. The entire event is sponsored by the Downtown Chambersburg and Franklin County Community Foundation. Fourth up, in Hagerstown, the city of Hagerstown itself is hosting the 13th annual Halloween Dog Costume Parade on Saturday, October 25th, from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. That'll be at the Fairgrounds Park, 351 North Cleveland Avenue. And they'll be celebrating a spooky season with tail-wagging flair and community spirit. Pet owners can pre-register their pooches for $10 online until noon on Friday. There's a website listed in localnews1.org where you can find that. The first 50 entrants will get a goodie bag, and or you can sign up on site for $15 starting at 10 a.m. Near the dog park. Credit cards preferred, exact cash, or checks payable to the city of Hagerstown will be accepted. There'll be a parade packed with prizes for the best dressed pups, plus pet vendors and activities to keep the fun event fetchingly attractive. You can call 301-739-8577, extension 169 for more details. And finally, probably the big event of the year, especially in Hagerstown, the Alsatia Mummers will be presenting the 98th Mummers Parade. We'll be marching through downtown Hagerstown along North and South Potomac Streets. They'll kick off on Saturday at October 25th at 4:30 p.m. with a free trick-or-treat or treating and kid-friendly activities and the procession itself will officially step out at 6 p.m. They'll be offering free roadside viewing or reserved seating tickets that you can purchase at the Maryland Theater. Those are the 5 that made the cut for this week. We're going to add one more because it's kind of an interesting event. The Franklin County Commissioners and President Judge Sean Myers are inviting the public to join the 160th anniversary of Franklin County's historic courthouse. That'll be at 5 p.m. on October 27th. That'll be Monday at the Franklin County Judicial Center, 14 North Main Street in Chambersburg. It's been open to the public since October 1865. It's an interesting facility because the original building was burned down during the burning of Chambersburg during the Civil War. It was replaced with this courthouse. It's a symbol for the people of Chambersburg of the resilience of the community. Even though you knocked them down, they could get back up and keep on going. So, item number 6 for this week. Now, launching into the news for this past week, it's been a very busy week. A lot of small things, a lot of larger things. 72 stories in all in localnews1.org. First of all, we're going to start off with municipal elections, which will be held in Pennsylvania on the 4th of November. Excuse me. There are guidelines in an article this week for first-time voters, telling them all the different ways that they can vote and what the deadlines for that are. Pennsylvania's, there will be additional articles on the elections coming up throughout the coming week. We're gathering them from a variety of sources in Franklin County and also to a certain extent in Adams County for our friends over in Fairfield and in Carroll Valley. Next topic, Pennsylvania. Senator Doug Mastriano led a ceremony in Harrisburg on the 20th of October for 9/11. Basically what he's doing is he's reminding everybody that 3,000 people died on 9/11, and as a result of that, we launched military operations in an awful lot of locations. Now, regardless of what you think about the operations themselves, there were literally hundreds of thousands of people who participated, answered the call, and they went over and they did what they were asked to do. So we want to make sure that we're honoring all those people that went to Afghanistan and elsewhere in order to fight the war on terrorism. Washington County is boosting its reserve emergency fleet. For those of you who have a military background, this is a lot like the function that the reserves perform for the active duty forces when we have to deploy anywhere on the planet. There are units that have to be capable, just as capable to perform missions as those who are on active duty. Well, in this particular case, the Fleet Reserve offers emergency services of all kinds throughout Washington County the opportunity to expand their capacity on a particularly busy day or to substitute some of the reserve equipment units for the ones that have been on the line for a while. That helps to extend the life of the very, very expensive units that respond to fires and accidents and all the different things that happen from time to time that require an emergency response. So it's good that they're looking at that. Also in Washington County, the commissioners met on the 21st of October and received a briefing from the community coalition concerning Hagerstown Capital Improvement Program. They hope to get more on that, but they were primarily focused on improvements that are going to take place at Hagerstown Airport. Those weren't the only things that came up, but the big ticket items were the capital improvements to go in at the airport. The Waynesboro Volunteer Fire Department had an open house on the 18th of October. This is an annual affair, but this year was particularly poignant because they were honoring fallen Sergeant Brian Starlipper, who had been a member of the volunteers since 1987. Brian passed away on the 14th of October, and so they wanted to mix a combination of their annual event, inviting people in to see how they operate, along with paying some tribute to a man who had given a considerable amount of time, a lot of his life, to fighting fires in the Waynesboro area. In Washington County, Brook Lane broke ground for a $6 million recreation center, which is intended to serve for mental health wellness in the area. That's part of the emeritus system these days. They are expecting to complete work on that project in 2026. Franklin County has the court system has a good wolf program. It's the name comes from the idea that everybody has a good wolf and a bad wolf on their shoulder, and it kind of depends which wolf dominates you based upon which one you feed. So they have a good wolf treatment center, and they are celebrating the 45th and 46th graduates of this program. The reason they have the program in the first place is because it's a terrible problem if you get hooked on drugs. And it's one thing to get clean of drugs, but it's quite another thing to get sufficiently clean and get your reputation reinstated enough that you can actually find a decent job and go to work and support yourself and your family. And so the Good Wolf program is intended to very carefully screen people who apply for it. And as of this moment, 46 people lives have been turned around because of the work that the Franklin County court system and the police and medical people within the county all put into seeing to it that not only are they free of drugs, but they're rehabilitated and they're ready to go back to work. So good on them. In Franklin County, the commissioners also received a report on jail turnover, jail personnel turnover, actually. They're horribly understaffed. They got like 52 people that they're employed right now, plus some administrative people to go with that. But it's a major strain because 52 people is apparently nowhere near enough. They've actually advertised and interviewed up to 500 some odd people, hired 140, but the conditions are tough because if you got fewer people, you got to ask a lot of people to work longer hours, and that makes it tough to retain an awful lot of people. So they're in negotiations right now with their union, going back and forth over what kind of work schedules would best accommodate that. And they're not only trying to do that directly with picking up more people, they're also trying to find ways of moving some of their inmates outside of the facility in order to reduce the load at this particular facility until they can get their personnel back on top of the game. So tough problem, and they're working their way through that. Washington County Parks is getting upgrades from basically because a lot of local donors are making contributions to Washington County. They're putting up pole barns, pavilions, sidewalks, a variety of things. These will be good additions to the park system in Washington County. Cumberland Valley Animal Society has raised $13,000 from a dog walk back a few weeks ago. It's a pretty big deal. I'm not sure how many people know this or not. I know in the state of Pennsylvania, the things that boroughs and townships and counties are supposed to do are spelled out in considerable detail in state law. There's nothing in there that says that they're responsible for taking care of animals. So they rely, and most of the municipalities contribute to Cumberland Animal Society or the Antietam Humane Society or or the Washington County Humane Society for that matter. They contribute because dealing with stray animals is in fact a problem. These people work overtime to try to see to it that these animals get a new home. So they don't want to have to put them down. So if to the extent that you have an opportunity, we run articles every single week about pets of the week who are pre-screened and available for adoption to a good family. So if you take a moment and take a look at that. Patriot Credit Union celebrated 2 ribbon cuttings recently. On the 15th of October, I think we've mentioned this previously, they had a ribbon cutting at their new Greencastle site. They also had a ribbon cutting recently in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Apparently, as is their practice, they donated $5,000 to the community in each of those locations as a thanks for welcoming us to your community. The Foundation for Enhancing Communities, we've talked about them from time to time. Big group, they offer a lot of grants for a lot of purposes. They have had a Spark contest which aims at popular causes. The first phase identified 50 different contenders, and what they want to do is now initiate community voting in order to select the best ideas that they can provide grant money for. If you're going to vote, you got until the 26th of October, so check your calendar. That's not very far away. You can do that online, and the details are in localnews1.org. Harrisburg's Capital District for the African Methodist Episcopal Church held their 2025 conference at St. Paul African Methodist Church in Waynesboro on the 17th and 18th of October. Activities that they took up were a blend of sacred and administrative tasks, all intended to build a stronger church. So that's good. That's good stuff. You know, the churches have got, regardless of what you think about your immediate pastor, and some people love them, some people not so enthused. But regardless of what you think, churches are the repositories of literally thousands of years of lessons on how people can successfully live together with one another. It's really kind of the foundation for an awful lot of ethical and honest behavior. So the fact that churches are getting together and doing this sort of thing on a regular basis is really good news. Wilson College also raised $21.75 million in its We Rise capital campaign. Most of the things that they're trying to raise money for are for sustainment. It covers the gamut, everything from scholarships to staff to how they're going to pay off some of their debt. So they're also providing $6,000 grants, which are being funded by the Thoroughbred Education and Resource Foundation. The winners of this year's scholarships are Olivia Ewing, Kendi Long, and Regina Snyder. In Hagerstown Community College, they are starting on the 4th of November. They're starting next week, actually, 4 separate nonprofit management courses. If you want to subscribe to all 4 of them, it's $680 for the entire series, $170 for a course. Seniors get a reduced rate. They're really in these 4 different episodes. They're really covering soup to nuts. Everything from what's your mission to how do you administer, how do you manage costs, and probably the most important thing for most nonprofits is grant writing. You'll want to do a lot of that. Under police news, we have only one item this week. It's kind of a good bad tale, I suppose. The Greencastle Police advised that there were no charges to be filed for the 13th of October pedestrian accident, which ultimately resulted in the death of Sydney Barnes on the 20th of October. Everybody feels, Greencastle Police are very, very sad that there was a death on their watch, but apparently they did not have sufficient evidence or any indication that they should be filing charges. So a good and a bad story, I suppose. Under People News, the Pennsylvania Department of Education is taking nominations for 2027 Teacher of the Year. The due date for that is the 15th of December. WellSpan CEO Roxanne Gapster is one of 9 women who were named to the Daughter of Pennsylvania. This is quite prestigious award. These are people that women have really made a difference. They've been awarding these awards since about 1947, I believe it was. WellSpan, let's see, Hagerstown Community College inducted 5 people into their Sports Hall of Fame. Anthony Clement, Kenneth Giles, Alicia Myers Henderson, Rebecca Loftman, and Elizabeth Ross Smith. These are for performances that actually date back to as far as 1983, so they're given recognition where it's due. In Waynesboro, Summit Elementary School is going to have a Veterans Day celebration on the 7th of November. They're bringing in Dr. Justin Habash, who is with the Medal of Honor Center for Leadership over in the Baltimore area. That should be a very good. His premise is that there are a lot of commonalities in terms of values that Medal of Honor winners share, and he wants to share some of that for people's interest. So that should be a very good program. That's going to take place at Waynesboro's Summit Elementary School on the 7th of November. Let's see. Hagerstown's Meritus is announcing, or has announced, Brian McKinnon, MD, is the new chair of their surgical department. They've also announced that Dr. Mary Romanek is joining Emeritus Rheumatology Department, and she'll be providing services in both Hagerstown and in Frederick. Wellspan also provided an article on mammogram callbacks. As you might suspect, for an awful lot of women, especially if it's your first time doing a mammogram, you get a call back and they ask you to come back in. That could be pretty startling. Their message is do not panic. What they're doing is they're going through a process. It doesn't end with getting the mammogram. It also includes reading the mammogram, and then if they find anything, whether or not they think it's, well, especially if they think it's associated with any kind of disease that they might have to treat, but if they find anything and they don't know what it is, they will call you back and they will ask you a lot of questions. They may do some additional tests just to be sure that it either is or is not. So the main thing is don't panic. There is no definitive evidence at the point of the first call back to you that there's something wrong. It's just saying, we've seen things on your scans and we need to talk about it. So what they're really looking for is abnormalities of any kind. I mean, it could be from a prior surgery, it could be from anything. Just main point though, don't panic. Wellspan's Waynesboro Hospital has got something, and I guess the best way to introduce this would be to say, did you ever wonder how all those people that man a hospital manage to deal with the stress of trying to help people who are either mildly ill or desperately injured? And part of the reason, part of what they do is several nurses at Waynesboro Hospital have created a thing that they call the Lavender Room, which is an oasis for stress relief for the staff. Very nice procedure. It's got a lot of nice quiet music, soft lights, that sort of thing. But it's a place where you can go and chill for a few minutes and kind of get your head back in the game. Meritus and the Family Farm Direct organization is now receiving 30% of its fruits, vegetables, meats, etc. From local sources within 60 miles of their headquarters there in Hagerstown. So that's a good deal. We'll hit one more in entertainment. No week would be complete without the Washington County, Franklin County Brewery Roundup. This is a regular feature. Look in localnews1.org and you'll find a quick summary of all the special events that are taking place at all the breweries that keep popping up all over the local area. So there's a whole lot more in localnews1.org. We just added crossword puzzles, which seem to be very popular. We're talking about adding theatrical activities. We have local history every Tuesday, writings of Dargan Boy on Thursdays, all kinds of sports, especially high school and what have you. Many more activities in the constantly moving mosaic that is our local community. We're very proud to be the news source for Verstandig Media, and you can see all the local news on localnews1.org. It's all local, no national. It's not social media. Think of it as a newspaper without the paper. Okay, we're news people. We're not. We don't get engaged in arm wrestling with lunatics and out there any place. And with that, we will close with the thought of the day, or actually, a question for the ages. Why are there 5 syllables in the word monosyllabic? Bada bing. Have a great week.
Let's talk TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.